Hi guys, well you can see I'm on my bike today. I thought I'd do a short video, a bit more of an update to where I am. I've now fitted all the Woolich Racing harness. The log box is all fitted and all working as it should. Had a few minor issues with the log box. The wiring harness is really tricky to get into the back of the ECU plug, and one of the wires I hadn't got all the way down, hadn't fully locked into place, and obviously on connecting it to the ECU it must have been pushing back the wire a little bit, not making a proper connection. I had a few error messages coming up, spoke to the company and they suggested to recheck everything, which I did, and that's when I came across, I found that one of the wires hadn't quite seated. Got that to seat properly, which was a bit of a nightmare to be honest. They're very tricky. There's a lot of wires on the back of that plug, and trying to add more into them, it can be quite difficult, but got there in the end, connected it all up, and bingo, it's all working as it should. I did a read on my ECU, got all the part numbers etc, and then I disabled the stock O2 sensor on the bike, because obviously that's not there anymore and the plug's been disconnected, and I had a warning light coming on the dash, engine management light, because of the stock sensor being disconnected, which is now gone as you can see, because I've disabled that. I've also disabled the exhaust valve and also the air injection system, which is what causes the popping back on deceleration, which I'm now on my way to pick up the blanking plates for that, so I can take the air injection off, because I can't do any tuning on the bike until that's been all disconnected and sealed off, because it'll give me false readings at the new wideband O2 sensor. So I'm just on the way to the guy that I have all the decals made for the bike. I've had a few changed. I'm going to pick up some new ones, and then I'm going straight from there to the guy who's making me the plates. I've had a few extra made, so I've got a couple in stock just in case I need some extras for other bikes, because you can't do any tuning with the air injection still on the bike, because it just throws the readings out. So that's what I'm doing today. So it's a lovely day here in Thailand, just coming up to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I actually managed to get and fly the drone yesterday. I did a bit of a test flight. Forgetting where I was going then. Need to go straight on, and it nearly went into Phuket town. Not concentrating on where I'm going there, but yeah, so I did a test flight yesterday, myself and my other half, 2 controllers, myself flying the drone, my other half operating the camera, and to be honest I'm quite pleased with the footage. It was only a test, first time she's ever worked anything like that, and I'm still learning myself on the drone, so we're still getting to grips with all the settings etc on the drone. But yeah, it was quite successful. I got some really nice footage. I'm hoping to do a little bit more practicing first before I start putting the footage out, shall we say, on YouTube etc. I'm trying to get some experience on what I can do with the drone. I'm altering the camera settings just to see what it can do and etc. I'm looking forward to testing it with the bike, but I'm sort of taking little steps because I want to be careful, because the laws on drones now in Thailand have been tightened up as from last month, and improper use of the drones can end you up with a serious fine or even a prison sentence of up to 12 months. So it's worth abiding by the law at the moment, because they're having a bit of a clampdown. I think it's due to people not using them, shall we say, carefully or correctly, whichever way you want to say it. But now you need to have them registered before you can fly them. If you fly them and you get asked for papers and you haven't got the papers, that's when you're going to have the problem. So I've got a company in Bangkok that I've been using for both the insurance and the registration of the drone. They've given me the okay, they've sent me the document across, so now I'm good to go on flying the drone. So we're going to try and get a little bit of practice in before I really start to see what we can do with the drone. And at the same time, obviously I'm working on my bike. I've got a few things going on at the same time, trying to sort out my time, manage my time between YouTube videos, bike tuning, drone, and other businesses that I have as well going on at the moment. So it's a little bit manic at the moment, but it keeps me busy, that's for sure. So I'm gonna go over to see the sticker man, as I call him, see if he's got the stickers made up for me. I'm not sure whether he's going to fit them or I'm going to fit them myself. Sometimes he fits them if he's got time, other times I just bring them back and do them myself. But I've had a few new logos made now for the bike. Obviously the company name for the tuning side of things. I've also got some stickers. Basically this bike will be the demonstrator, the show bike, whatever you want to call it, so people can try it. I've got to have a think about that, because obviously if somebody jumps on the bike and drives it like a complete lunatic and then smashes it up, I've got to have some sort of cover that covers me, and obviously the person needs to have some sort of cover. I don't mind somebody having a go on the bike as long as they don't write it off. So yeah, I've got to have a think about that first, but I'm going to hopefully get the bike ready for sort of February, March. I believe there's a big bike show coming up around that time. I want to have the bike on show. Hopefully the tuning, all the mapping will be done by then. I've got a few months to get the mapping done, make sure it's all working right. I've got an update on the dyno. I've been over, spoken to the guy who's got the dyno, but unfortunately he's now sent it to Bangkok to his brother, because he wasn't getting a lot of work for cars. Well, mainly I think he was doing like trucks, diesel trucks, but there's not a massive amount of demand over here in Phuket. Maybe in Bangkok, I don't know, but it seems to be more motorbikes, and he doesn't do motorbikes at all. So I've had a chat with him. I've had a really good long chat with him. I put a proposal to him and he seems very interested, and now he's asked me to give him 4 or 5 weeks, and he's going to bring the dyno back from Bangkok. He didn't really want to send it there in the first place because he really enjoys the tuning side of things. Doesn't know anything about motorbike tuning. So I've put a proposal to him and he seems very interested, so fingers crossed he's going to bring it back. Hopefully 5-6 weeks. Let me start that again. Hopefully in 5 or 6 weeks I will have a dyno machine to play around with, and that will be good for the tuning on the bike, because it's going to allow me to do the tuning a lot more accurate than I can do on road or on the bench, because it's not safe to run the bike flat out. Wow! Bit of popping back there. Oh, yeah, so it's not really safe to try and tune the bike on the road, because you can't really ride the bike like a lunatic. Well, you can, but you risk obviously killing yourself or killing somebody else. So that's not really advisable, especially here where I am. The traffic's quite busy, to be honest. I am looking for somewhere that I would be able to run the bike that's not busy, sort of private road or something, but I haven't been able to find anywhere at the moment, and we've not got out here like old airfields or anything like that. So it means I wouldn't be able to get really good tuning on the bike on the road. So fingers crossed for the dyno machine. If he brings it back, that's going to be great. I can get obviously a better tune with that machine. Putting it on there, I can run the bike flat out with no danger to myself or anybody else. So we'll have to wait and see. I got to speak to him again in 6 weeks time and see what the score is on that. But until then, I'm going to have a play around with the bike a little bit, try and get the popping back sorted out, make sure everything's running on it reasonably well, and then hopefully when the dyno comes I can then start to fine tune it and really push the bike to its maximum on the tune. and see what sort of figures we can get out the dyno. I know the Kawasaki Z1000s as stock form normally produce around the 140 brake horsepower, 140, 144. I've seen one that's pushing about 175, so if I can get something 175 and up, I'll be really pleased with the Woolich stuff. But until we try it, we're not going to really know. 180, I'd be really chuffed at that, but I don't know whether she'll do that or not. It's going to really be pushing it, but the company name is Tuned to the Limit, so that's what I'm going to do. Tune it to as far as I possibly can, change as much as I possibly can, and push it as hard as I can without hopefully blowing it up. But we will have to see what happens. So yeah, when I first disconnected the O2, the stock O2 sensor, I had the warning, engine warning light coming on, engine management light should I say, coming on the dash once the bike was running. But since I've reset that, disabled it, and the air injection and the exhaust valve, that's all sorted itself out now, but it is running quite, I think it's running lean, to be honest. Until I get these blanking plates on the bike, I'm not going to be 100% sure how it's running, because basically it's pumping clean fresh air from the airbox into the exhaust at the moment, which is throwing all the readings out on the O2 sensor. So until that system's taken off the bike, even though it's been disabled, I would imagine there's still air going in there and being sucked through. So until the plates are put on to block all that off and then everything's disconnected and moved out of the way, I'm not going to get an accurate reading off this gauge. So I can't really sort of set up the software. I don't really want to start trying to tune it. I want to do everything correct on the bike so I can get a really good, accurate, nice tune on the bike. So that's what I have for you this time. Stay tuned, because there's going to be a lot of videos coming in the next few months now. I'm sort of getting myself sorted out. The cameras are working really well. I've got the audio really working well this time. Done a few tests. Did the last video that I uploaded. The sound was 100 times better than what I had last year. Got that now on a separate thing, plumbed into the helmet. Really got the setup down to a T now, so it's really sort of looking and sounding nice now. I've not really done a lot of editing work on the videos up to now. I have got Vegas to do the post-production on, but I haven't really had the time to play around with that either yet, and again, it's something I've got to learn. So stay tuned till next time. Catch you later.